Slater Crusaders, welcome back. Really, this whole show, the last 3 segments, has been a build-up to our next guest, Joseph Pinion III. He's the chair of the Conservative Color Coalition. Mr. Pinion, how are you, sir?
Good to be here. Thanks so much for having me, Mike.
Man, good to talk to you. I just want to throw it to you first. Just where's your head at? Where's your heart been at with just everything of the last few weeks?
Look, I mean, I think, it's been a difficult week, I think, for most Americans and most people who just want to see justice and who just don't want to think they live in a world where a man could walk out of his house, no matter what he'd done or been accused of doing, and end up losing his life with a knee on his neck for 9 minutes, defecating on himself, screaming for his mother. It's a horrific scene, and I think it troubled me deeply. I think it really troubled a lot of Americans deeply, irrespective of their race or creed.
Man, I think every single person. I can't imagine anyone. I haven't heard anyone try to justify what that officer did in any way.
No, I mean,
what about? Sorry, I was going to say, what about your reaction, or what's your thoughts on people's reactions to it? And obviously, it's a huge question because it's hard to paint broad brushes. There's been all types of reactions, but maybe what's been encouraging to you and what's been discouraging in people's reactions?
Well, I'll talk about 3 things, right? I think, I start with my father. Like I said, I was telling my father was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. Like I said, in the era of Jim Crow, turned 18, wasn't allowed to vote. This is the same man who, literally had to flee Hurricane Katrina with nothing but the clothes on his back and an urn with my grandfather's ashes in it because that was all he could grab. And so I think, I spoke to him on Sunday, and, I've said many times, he said that he thought he was reliving the worst days of his life in high definition. And I think that is a message that I think just needs to sink home with a lot of Americans, because there are a lot of people of color, just a lot of people of a certain generation who've already seen so much. And so for this notion that we've gotten to our golden years and somehow that a man could lose his life over a matter of $20, it just seems surreal to far too many people. On the flip side, I think we've seen a lot of good things that the media doesn't cover. We've seen people protecting law enforcement that got separated from their squad against mobs. We've seen people together kneeling in prayer of all colors and creeds. We've seen a sheriff in Flint, Michigan, bring the police to march with the people. And so I think that is something that we can focus on in this moment. That if President Trump is talking about the fact that the media is often lying, that they're also, again, portraying this false image that belies what the grand majority of the people are doing. That we know that most law enforcement go out and do a great job every day, risk their lives to keep us safe. We also know that most of the people across this nation have their heart in the right place, and the people who are protesting peacefully simply want to have what Barbara Jordan said, an America as good as its promise. And I think that if we can focus on those things, I think that that'll get us to where we need to be as a nation in this time of upheaval.
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.